Thank you, Mr. Roma.
I want to
Mr.
add.
Bhatt.
Yes.
I'll come to you, sir.
Yes, yes.
Mr. Bhatt, what is your perception about God in Hinduism, the concept of God?
You want in Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma? Of course, I can understand. I will just tell the two things also. Because, see, Hinduism cannot be linked with sometimes Vedas, but it should be linked with the Vedas only. It cannot go against it, because Veda is universal and it pervades everything. Regarding that, see, I quoted, and he, of course, has mastery over Vedic Riks also. There they have mentioned Sat, not Deva. Ekam Sat. Not they have mentioned Deva. But in the Vedas, of course, the word Deva comes and Devata also comes. Devata is in feminine gender and Deva is in masculine gender. Okay. Eko Devaha Sarva Bhuteshu Gudha. This is, of course, accepted by Vedas also. This is the quotation from the later stages after 3000 years. What I actually understand, what Prabhu has mentioned, even in Ashwatha or in any tree also there is God, that he has interpreted that, it seems. Eko Devaha Sarva Bhuteshu. Bhuta means all existent, all existent. Gudha, it is hidden there. And very clearly Gita says, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hriddeshe Arjuna Tishtati. There Ishvara is not just Shiva. We know Ishvara is the Almighty, the Supreme. Hriddeshe Arjuna Tishtati. At the center point, or where heartbeat controls, remote control, everything is there. There he resides. There he resides means it is not just like a statue, idol or pratima. He mentioned in the Yajurveda pratima, of course. But is it against the Vedic concept? Idol worship, according to Westerns, it is not idol worship. It is a pratima worship. Idol is quite different from this worshipping in a form. A formless is worshipped in a form. We accept the formless worship and also form worship also. I will come to you, 1 minute. And there actually the Deva, if you, in the clear term of Almighty, the word Purusha comes. The Purusha. Many of us believe that Purusha means a feminine gender, etc. It is genderless. Puri Shayate iti Purusha. In some of your work also I mentioned that you have quoted Nirukta also. It is my thesis topic, Nighantu Nirukta. I am very much happy regarding that. Puri Shayate, Pura means the heart. So that is called Jiva. Purusha means Jiva. Parama Jiva, Paramatma and Atma. That is linked through this one. So that is called Deva. And if I have to give correct interpretation, it is there in the Brahadaranyaka. Most probably third kanda. There are how many deities? Eshtu devategalu eshtu? Philosophically questions keltara.
So, what I'm asking you at the end is there, does Hinduism propagate that there is only one God?
God is one. Devanobba, Nama halavu.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So may I ask Dr. Bhatt again, what is the way of salvation in Hinduism?
If I have the permission, I just wanted to add something. If I have your permission.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. And I totally agree with what Mr. Bhatt has said. And probably Mr. Prabhu was saying that a Vaishnava, he might say that this is my God. Shaiva might differ with him. So I would say what Mr. Bhatt has said, that and he rightly said, that whenever there is any conflict, anything that contradicts with the Vedas, you don't have to follow that. You have to follow what the Vedas say in that. And even the Upanishad, I believe.
Yeah.
So as far as the concept of God is concerned, whenever we ask who is God or what is God, it is not a human being who will define who is God. It is God who has to tell us who is God. For example, when I make a pen, this pen won't tell me what it is. I have to tell, because I made it. When I go to some place, you can't give my introduction until I tell you who I am. When I go to an unknown place, I give my introduction, I am so and so. So for God also, if you want to know God, God should give his introduction. It's not what human being says. Suppose my name is Gaurav and somebody says, Mr. Saurabh. I say, I'm not Saurabh. It's your definition. So I have to define who I am. So you read the Vedas or you read the Quran, it's the concept of God is very similar, very much similar. Even like brother said, Surah Al-Ikhlas, Surah number 112, ayat number 1 to 4 of the Quran, which says, Qul huwallahu ahad. Say he is God, the one and only. Similar thing is mentioned even in the Chandogya Upanishad, chapter number 6, section number 2, verse number 1, which says, Ekam eva advitiyam. God is one only without a second. He is one only without a second. Similarly, it's mentioned in Shvetashvatara Upanishad, chapter number 6, verse number 9, says, Na chasya kaschij janita na chadhipa. Of that Almighty God, there are neither parents nor lords. Similarly, in Shvetashvatara Upanishad, chapter number 4, verse number 19, similar message as Yajurveda, chapter number 32, verse number 3, it says, Na tasya pratima asti asya nama mahatyasha. Similarly, in Shvetashvatara Upanishad again, chapter number 4, verse number 20, it says, Na sangdrishyatishthati rupam asya na chakshusha pashyati kaschanainam. No one can see his form. No one can see him with the eyes. So similar kind of definition what brother said, Qul huwallahu ahad. Say he is God one and only. Allahu samad. Allah who provides for everybody but does not require to be fed. Lam yalid walam yulad. He has no father, he has no parents, he has no children. Walam yakullahu kufuwan ahad. And there is nothing like him. So as far as concept of God, what God is, we have to see what God himself has to say in the sacred scriptures of these religions, and there is a quite bit of similarity in all these religions.
Yes, so in both the religions we can conclude that, to say that there is only one God and he is formless. Moving on, what is the way of...
not only just formless, he has form also.
Yeah.
Right.
In a less form is that.
Okay. Right. So what is the way to salvation in Hinduism, Dr. Bhatt?
Salvation, it is very difficult that if I have to take the word salvation itself. In Hindu society, many will not agree with the word and its interpretation salvation. Because moksha is quite different. In there, of course, 4 categories they have made. Salokya, Saropya, Sayojya, and the third one is Samipya, of course. Salokya, just like in heaven or in the God's world. And Samipya, nearby God. This is also moksha. The concept is there in Vedic concept itself. And Saropya, one with God. One with God means that form. The form of the God himself or itself is his or hers. And Sayujya, completely mingled with the God, one with God, fully. That is a Sayujya. If the word salvation, of course, it concludes with these all 4, then well and good. Otherwise, salvation is very much difficult word. If the Buddhist says something regarding salvation, the concept may differ. And another thing regarding, of course, I agree, but don't fully agree regarding the Vedic concept.
We'll come to that.
Okay.
We'll come to that. Mr. Gaurav, what do you have to say about the salvation that he mentioned about in Hinduism?
I agree with him totally that as he mentioned, there are different things. It can be one with him, you become one with him. That is the concept of salvation in Hinduism, and I know that even the Bhagavad Gita talks about that. And I was reading Bhagavad Gita translated by Swami Prabhupada also and by Paramahansa Yogananda also. God talks with Arjuna, so he also has the same view that you become one with God. So, but as far as Islamic concept is concerned, it's a little different.
We'll